Getting started in woodworking can be pretty expensive for most of us. And if you think about it, it's generally the limitation of how deep our pockets are that limit what it is we can buy and what it is we can do. Now, we here in the United States have a tendency to look at woodworking and look at woodworking tools and think we got to have a lot of big, expensive tools. But do we? Let's take the table saw as an example, okay? A lot of beginning woodworkers can't afford to buy a table saw. Now, I learned on a table saw because my dad had one. But it wasn't until I was a woodworker for 25 years, maybe 30 years, that I was at a point I could afford to buy my own table saw. So all I had was a circular saw. But is that enough? Well, let's think this through a little bit, okay? A table saw is basically a circular saw flipped over and mounted to the bottom side of a table. Matter of fact, you see some places where people don't have the money to buy a table saw, and that's exactly what they do. All right, so what does that do for you in doing that? Well, it starts you on the road of doing some other things as well, because a table saw, as you buy it, a commercial one, even a low-cost one, has more than just that table. Of course, the table is larger, and that helps you when you're cutting larger pieces of wood, and that's very valuable in and of itself. But it also gives you a fence and a miter gauge. So that allows you to do types of cuts that you couldn't before. Not only that, but because you're working with a table saw instead of a circular saw, generally speaking, you do more accurate cuts. You have a larger blade, you have a larger motor, so you can work more with larger pieces of lumber, or we could say we could work with denser woods, harder woods, okay? And it's really easier to get greater accuracy out of a table saw than it is out of a circular saw. Now, that's not to say you can't get accuracy out of a circular saw. You just have to have the right sorts of jigs to do it. So let's start out talking about the table saw, because that's kind of the gold standard that we're working with in this particular video. The table saw is considered to be the most versatile and useful tool in the workshop. I'm sure that I use my table saw more than I do any of the other power tools I have in this workshop. I use my router table a lot, I use my radial arm saw a lot, but the one I really keep going back to is the table saw. Why? Because of how many different things I can do with it. Basically, more than anything, the table saw is set up for ripping a lumber. That means just taking a board and going down the grain length of the board and making it thinner. Now, this is also useful with sheets of plywood, okay? We can set this up and spread it out, and we can rip a sheet of plywood down the center, and we can cut that into different sections. So the table saw is very good for that. Now, I will have to say the table saw does have some limitations with full sheets of plywood. One, most table saws, tables aren't as big as that sheet of plywood, unless you've got a really expensive table saw. Secondly, it's really hard to keep the balance. Now, unless you have a very heavy-duty base on your table saw, you can actually tip the table saw over trying to rip that sheet of plywood. If you're going to do a full-size sheet of plywood on a smaller table saw, like a portable table saw or a contractor's table saw, you probably need 2 people to do it, okay? That's actually easier to do with a circular saw than it is with a table saw. But still, it's possible to do on a table saw. Now, the other thing we've got, of course, is the miter gauge. The miter gauge allows us to do cross-cutting. Okay, and for years, all of my dad's cross-cutting was done with a miter gauge, and I learned to do it that way. Now, I prefer doing my cross-cutting on my radial arm saw or on a miter saw, which I also have, but we can do it on the table saw. The big draw or limiting factor, I guess I'll say, is that the miter gauges usually aren't all that great. Now, you can buy an aftermarket miter gauge, especially if you have a full-size table saw, and that will improve that. But that's your limiting factor, okay? But there's other things you can do with the table saw just in the way it's set up. And one is that you can use a dado blade. A dado blade is kind of like a stack of saw blades, it's not exactly, which allow you to cut, a wider kerf, okay? That's very useful for some types of joinery, such as cutting a dado to inset a shelf into an upright. Or if we want to do a lap joint, a half lap joint, and we want to cut half the material from each of the 2 pieces so that the joint's thickness is the same as the board's thickness. So table saws are designed to work well with dados. Now, you got to make sure that the table saw you buy will accept a dado blade, okay? The arbor is too short. This particular one, I can only go like the 2 outer blades and maybe 1 piece in between, and actually the manufacturer of this brand doesn't even recommend that, okay? I can stack the whole thing on my radial arm saw, and personally that's where I do most of my dado cutting, but most people do it on their table saw, okay? But the real big plus of your table saw is the fence. Why is the fence the big plus? because the fence gives you an accurate way of aligning your stock to the blade, okay? That's hard to do with pretty much any other saw. Now, other saws do have fences. For example, bandsaws. You can get fences for bandsaws, but it's a shorter fence and it's a smaller table, so that's more limited, okay? Radial arm saw, the fence is just like a backstop type of fence. It doesn't give you some of the capability that a table saw fence does. So your fence is your real big plus on the table saw and gives you a lot of capability. So you want a good fence on any table saw regardless, okay? And with the fence, you can set up for accurate cuts. And again, if you're doing joinery, if you're doing fine furniture, if you're doing even halfway decent furniture, accuracy in your cuts is very important. And so the table saw blows away the circular saw when it comes to just basic accurate cuts. The real versatility in the table saw really doesn't come from just the basic table saw itself, but rather various sleds and jigs that different woodworkers have invented to be used with the table saw. This, for example, right here is a basic crosscut jig. What this allows us to do is take and put a board in here and cross-cut it accurately, as opposed to the miter gauge, which isn't always very accurate, okay? I have another one of these over here that I made that's considerably longer, which allows me even greater accuracy in cutting that miter, especially when working with long material. So the crosscut sled is probably the most basic sled or jig that you can make for a saw, and anyone that's got a table saw really needs one. Now we can modify that, and we can put this triangle on it here, and this turns what would normally be a crosscut sled into a miter sled. And actually, I've got this backwards. It should be facing this way with a triangle on my side, so that I can cut miters. Specifically, this one's made from doing miters that are like picture molding or something like that, okay? But we can modify this and we can use it for just about anything, all right? So this is a very useful sled to do as well. And none of these are real complicated to make. Here's another sled. This is the standard crosscut sled with this additional piece here. And this allows this particular sled to be used for making box joints or finger joints, okay? So you can do a lot by making sleds to increase the usefulness and the variety of work that can be done with table saw. And we can also make jigs. Now, the difference between a sled and a jig is the sled sits into the miter tracks on your table saw table. When we start talking about jigs, we're talking about things that are mounted usually onto the fence. So let me pull my fence over here, and I can grab this jig right here, slide it over my fence, lock the fence down where I need to, which would be over here near the blade, and I can use this for cutting tenons, okay? Very quick and easy way of cutting tenons. Now, if I take this same jig, most people don't do this with their tenoning jig, but if I put it on this side, I can now use this for cutting dovetails, okay, large dovetails. Like if I'm doing a dovetail half lap joint, I can do that with this jig, okay? Same jig. Or how about, well, this is considered a jig, but it's actually more like a sled. This one is for cutting angles which are beyond the capability of the saw. The saw will cut from 90 degrees to 45 degrees. Well, what if I want something that's 10 degrees or 5 degrees? Well, since this is 45 degrees, I can take this 45 degrees and angle my blade however much more I need to do to get that 10, 20, 30 degree angled cut. Okay, so it's a lot of variety that we can do. Now, this isn't all the things you can do as far as sleds and jigs. I've got sitting over here several other sleds, like for doing miters, if you're doing like box miters, or cutting large circles, or even making dowels. I can taper with another jig I've got. I can make round tapers with another jig I've got. You know, each jig has its own specialty. So that one of the great things about the table saw is it gives you all of that great variety in the things that you can do with it. Okay, so we've taken a look at the table saw. Now we're going to look at the circular saw. And I realize that the circular saw doesn't look like much when we compare it to the table saw. But this is still a good tool, and it's still very capable. Like I said, I didn't have a table saw for a lot of years, and I had to use either, well, mostly my circular saw, although I used my jigsaw for some things too. So why would we want a circular saw instead of a table saw? Well, for a lot of people, it boils down to a financial question. I understand that. A lot of us can't afford that big table saw we'd like to have. But even otherwise, should you have a circular saw? Well, I think everyone ultimately needs one because it's actually much better for breaking down sheets of plywood than a table saw is. If you really want to break down a piece of plywood, you lay it out on a piece of foam insulation, rigid form insulation, inch thick, on your driveway, put your lines on it, and do your rough cuts with the circular saw before you get down to doing your fine cuts, maybe on your table saw, okay? But other than that, what about all the other things we can do with the table saw? You know, that really what it is kind of what it boils down to. Can we do everything that we can do on the table saw with the circular saw? Well, that depends again on what kind of jigs we have available to us, okay? Can we do accurate cross cuts? Yes, with a jig. Can we do accurate miter cuts? Again, yes, with a jig. Can we rip with it? Well, it doesn't rip as easily as a table saw. If we're ripping a sheet of plywood, yeah. But say if we're ripping a 1x4, a little tricky, but it can still be done. Every single circular saw I've ever seen sold comes with a little fence for doing ripping, okay? It's not the most accurate or fantastic way of ripping, but it works. And there are jigs that you can make or buy that allow this saw to do a great job of ripping, whether we're talking a 1x4 or we're talking a sheet of plywood, okay? Can it do tapered cuts? Well, yeah, again, we're talking a jig, but really that jig can be as simple as laying a piece of wood or a level or anything straight on the piece of wood that we want to make the cut on and use it as a guide, as a fence to run the saw on, and we can make that tapered cut. Can we do tenons? Well, yes, I've got a tenoning jig around here that I made for this. I've got another jig I made around here for doing spline joints with this. So again, you know, we got a lot of capability. Dovetails are a little more difficult, still possible. I've seen it done. I haven't done it myself. Box joints, yes, again, it's more difficult, but you're gonna have to make the right jigs for these things. Now, there's some things you're not gonna be able to do. Okay, you're not gonna make like little thin, tiny strips of wood out of it. You're not gonna cut circles with it. There are some limitations. You're not gonna be able to make dowels with it, okay? But there's a lot you can do with this. It's not throw it away because we got the table saw. I use my table saw a lot more than I use my circular saw, but you know, there's just some times when the circular saw is the tool that I need. Okay, so now we come down to the big question. Which one should you buy? Should you buy a table saw or a circular saw? And really, for most of us, that comes down to what can you afford, okay? As I said, I couldn't buy a table saw for a long time. All I had was a circular saw. But let's leave that aside for a moment, okay? And let's look at which one do you need the most. Now, if you're gonna be doing a lot of stuff with large sheets of plywood, and you're gonna be cutting that plywood to make, say, cabinets, whether that's for your workshop or for your kitchen, yeah, a circular saw, or even better, a track saw. Or get a circular saw and make yourself a homemade track for your circular saw, so that it is a track saw, okay? But everyone else, I would say a table saw is a better option. Now, usually I try and leave that totally up to you, and it is up to you. It really depends on the projects you're going to do. But if you want versatility and capability, you're gonna get more out of a table saw than you will out of a circular saw.